And we are live once again. It is now time for our third game. And Sean, I'm definitely pretty excited that we are not going to be seeing a 3-0 here, especially because SaSe is one of the huge favorites here in the TSL4. He has been lately. His great runs in a lot of foreign tournaments, his good results, throughout the constant battling that he's having to do against the great talent that exists in the StarCraft universe. And now we are ready to go live here in this matchup. Why don't you introduce our players?
Down in the bottom left, the Zerg player from South Korea, very young, removed from the pro scene temporarily, but now has returned with some fancy suave Zerg play. It is Slayer's Coca.
And if you would actually introduce the other player too.
Oh, well, I mean, of course, up in the top right, the man who is hiding a pylon, or yonder in the top right of his base from Sweden over to Korea from Team Quantic, it is going to be SaSe.
Sorry, I had to get myself in line with you guys, all in check with you guys. So we do see, once again, that pylon going in the base, and you're going to see this quite often coming out from SaSe. It's just one of those little quirks that he likes to do, and there's a second pylon going up. So I think that there's an extreme amount of respect for both of these players. But I have to say that SaSe's probably feeling pretty disappointed in himself to have let all those very expensive and crucial units get killed as early on as they did. It was almost like handing that free pass, that free ticket to Coca to take the game, and you have to imagine that he does not want that to happen again. But look at this, the Forge and the pylon going down. So SaSe might be attempting some sort of a quick rush here on the cannons to try to deny this hatchery.
Well, it looks like he forced one cancel right out the bat. Probe continues to try to be annoying. We don't see any Nexus going down. This is quite unlike SaSe. I don't really see him perform this very much at all, but it looks like Coca's not biting the bait. He is not going to be going in for this, but SaSe has an interesting decision point. Does he really want to push everything onto this cannon rush? And it looks like the answer is, yep, there's the cannons going down, and he gets locked in. He's going to have to wander around and do it on the wide side. And oh, look at the gateway going down. Can he manage to get down? Another pylon. He does. He's locked that cannon in. Where is that follow-up wall off? It looks like Coca is suddenly in a lot of trouble. The double... Oh my gosh, SaSe is doing the mega rush. Oh my god, another crazy start to game 3.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And another cannon's going to go down, and there's no doubt this base is most certainly going to be suffering some massive losses. There we do see that one pylon very, very low, and very wise for those drones to pull back. Now, we do have the drone, the probe actually getting away with his life, and look at that. The Zerglings are going to be making their way over. A cannon is going up. It's all going to come down to the speed in which that cannon comes down, and the second one even going up right now.
Now it looks like he is going to be trying to go for a big wall off at his own main base. This is completely unclear who's at the lead in this point in time. We do see a slight probe lead for SaSe, but he needs just a little bit more resources to be able to do the complete wall off. The Lings are waltzing on up. There, they're finally down. How will Coca answer? He retreats. You see the cancel?
No, go ahead.
Sees the cancel, and it looks like, wow, Chrono Boosted Zealot up at the main.
Yeah, and I mean, what a great wall off there to protect those cannons. That one pylon certainly a bit hurt here, but how does he respond? The Zerglings on their way back. The Nexus did go down. There's not really any way of getting out here to a third hatchery, and Coca is not looking to be in a great position. He's going up to Lair right now. And, I mean, just getting that Nexus down.
I mean, the most important thing right now is you just need to get Warp Gate up as fast as possible, because the only answer, truly, is going to be some sort of Speed Roach play or some sort of Nidus play.
I agree. And maybe the Nidus is, he's got a couple of really nice Overlords set up, and I think that would make a whole lot of sense. He has not started his Warp Gate research either, so it's one thing to keep in mind, but he's got the double Zealots out, has to keep that Queen going back and forth from the ramp to make sure those injects stay on top of things, and just the fact that he's still denying this this hatchery is just outstanding, and there is the one spine crawler at the front. The probe finally goes down.
The Nidus network has been started.
Yep.
And it looks like SaSe is just chrono boosting out stalkers at the front. He's just started Warpgate research, Marcus. This could be very bad, very fast, as it looks like SaSe's most well-defended place is this forward gateway. I mean, SaSe's going to have to start pushing up to the top very soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really concerned for him. Like, the only thing that might really help him out here is if he could constantly keep these units, you know, in a situation where they don't really want to leave the base, but now the Nidus network is done, and the probe found it. The probe found it. Is he going to be able to pull in time?
When he needs to pull, he needs to pull. He's at half done. Where's the probe pull? It looks like SaSe has not quite noticed in time, and there's the eruption into the main base, and now the probes are sent down, and SaSe pulls too late.
Uh-oh, he might be in a lot of trouble. Roach is going to one expansion, then go to the other. Now, he can pull down to the natural right now, but that means he'll likely give up everything inside the main. It looks like all of his forces are moving back, and we are going on to another phase of this game. Absolutely great response coming out by Coca, and too bad that SaSe was not able to secure a kill on that Nidus network as it was birthing out of the ground inside the main base, and the creep is spreading too. This is actually a great turn of events for Coca.
Nidus Worm going down at the front as well, but it looks like SaSe will just indeed let that one finish. Roach speed now going down, and the Nidus Worm is under attack. It's at half life, and there it ends up falling down. And now SaSe is going to have to do some intense micro in the main despite all the terror that's gone on. We do see Coca at 17 workers, still doesn't have an extra base, and SaSe is up against slow roaches.
Wow, this is, I mean, there's just the warp gate just finished up. There's another gateway coming into play. He's going to go ahead and go up and make a push. Now, there is a retreat route, but it looks like the Nidus network is going to go down.
Nice little move there by SaSe, picking it off. And there we see the roaches in the main starting to pick off the zealots that are on the retreat path. He only has a little bit longer. It looks like there is a backup Nidus network going down at the front. SaSe is just under so much trouble. There is a queued up Nidus Worm in the main. Coca looks like he's just decided to one-base it.
Yeah, I think that he feels like he's certainly got an advantage right now, having the ability to bounce back and forth, but it seems like SaSe is managing it well as he takes out the Nidus network at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look at the roaches spill out. And he's really having a hard time trying to split his forces now. I thought he was going to be able to take that Nidus network down in time.
But it looks like the robo facility at the front is in a very vulnerable location. Immediately, SaSe cancels it. He just doesn't have enough energy space to be able to construct that robo facility. This is a very tough spot to be in as SaSe. Coca doing a great job hitting at all the vulnerable angles. But I mean, what do? It looks like SaSe mounting a counterattack at the front.
Yeah, he's going in right now. Zerglings are going to go in. They're going to go march right past that spine crawler, trying to take away some of the attention here from Coca at the front of his base. And he's going to get in okay. He might actually do some damage here. Meanwhile, that Nidus network still up and running. Roaches starting to come out of the Nidus network back at home, but drones will still fall. Was it enough, though, to answer? He's going after the cybernetics core now. And I feel like SaSe really wants to extend out to try to get rid of that Nidus network at the front. But can he risk it?
Oh, it looks like he's just trying to take little bits of chipping damage away at all these roaches. There's a good portion of roaches still back in the main base. Still just a single base for Coca. We actually see 2 robotics facilities coming out from SaSe. I think he's realizing that with no bases on the map, if it's going to be only roaches, then there's going to be nothing but Immortals coming out for him.
Yeah, and right now, so far, the Roaches versus Stalker battle here is quite interesting. He's just buying time for that first Immortal to actually come out. And keep in mind, right now, Coca only has 18 drones. He's putting everything into Roaches now, squeezing in just a single drone here and there. But he's really putting a lot into this attack. And if SaSe does hold it off, and we've seen him hold off Crazier before, this could be good. But the gateway count falling with every single one of these going down. And you know, with those Immortals come out, is that enough to be able to save SaSe's life?
God, SaSe couldn't have gotten these Immortals out any later. He now has one. He's chrono boosting 2 Immortals. His only production structures, 2 robo facilities at his natural, 1 gateway at his natural, and 1 gateway at the front. But here comes Coca, finally eliminating all those structures at the front of his base. Coca will now level up to his very first second base.
And you know what? We just need to take an opportunity here because you're like, oh, well, now, you know, SaSe might be able to expand and he's gotten control. Look at the creep spread inside the main base. He's not building there anytime soon. In fact, right now, SaSe is completely confined. It is a creep prison here as he does have a 3rd Immortal. The other thing that's so uncanny is the fact that it's giving just the most epic vision right now to Coca. And with the Nidus Worms still a possibility, this creep could not get cleaned out any quicker. We do have, do we actually have an observer out on the field right now? We do, and that is happening, but more interesting, a warp prism is coming out here by SaSe, and to compound that advantage or to do some sort of, I guess, revenge here on what has happened inside SaSe's base could be a good move.
I like this play by SaSe. He does need to do some sort of damage, and a Warp Prism Immortal play is going to be fantastic. Might seem slightly risky, but fortunately, given the fact that he just has so many Immortals that he can make, he'll easily be able to replenish the Immortals he needs at the front. 2 more Immortals popping out right now. We see the Warp Prism starting to make its way over. We'll certainly pick up those 2 Immortals. Anything else just wouldn't quite make sense. He needs those Stalkers back home at the front. And in the meantime, Coca awkwardly has 24 drones.
Yeah, I mean, he just invested so much into that Roach attack. And, I mean, the Cybernetics core has been down for SaSe. He's getting it back up, and so certainly he's been behind here, but with those Immortals out, he kind of stopped all that major, you know, or any sort of attack because everything that came out for Coco is pretty much Roach at that point. And with the creep now subsiding, there might be an opportunity to expand safely inside the main again. Here we're going to have an Overseer coming in to check. And he knows that there's no additional base for SaSe. Oh, drops down the Changeling for an additional block for quite some time. And, wow, look at this Immortal push that's coming out here by SaSe.
This is going to be a hell of a counterattack. I actually don't think SaSe can hold this off. I mean, does SaSe realize? Does he know? It looks like he's trying to find if there's some units hiding Coca. This could be a game-winning play from Coca. We might wind up in one of the weirdest elimination races I have ever seen, Marcus. There's only 3 gateways out, 2 robos, no bases. SaSe looks like he's committed to this. He's warping in sentries and zealots at the front. No more stalkers now. And there's the counterattack by Coca.
Oh, the counterattack is going to be insanely good right here. I mean, he's not going to be able to pull back. The smartest thing he could do here is do some damage, drop a Nidus here at the front so he can retreat back home when he needs to. But really, with nothing to defend here, SaSe just goes for it. He's trying to eliminate the force fields, kind of failing there in that situation. But there's one to stop the drones, and now the base race has begun.
Oh no, he lost the probe at the front. He loses the probe that was with the rest of his units. He needs to pull back as fast as possible. We see a couple of roaches still hanging out in the middle of the map. SaSe has eliminated the natural expansion with relative ease. What is his angle of attack now? Where does he expand? It looks like he's decided to lock Coca into his main base. Where are the probes going? SaSe, the probes! SaSe's probes are about to charge up into the main base. Where are they? Oh, now they're pulling back. Oh my God, I'm gonna get a stress headache, Marcus.
Well, that was pretty crazy. And with the roaches over here dropping this Nexus a little bit of time, all of the gateways aside from one have been eliminated here. And how does he do this? How does he break forth? He sends the Immortal up first and foremost, but there are still a lot of roaches at the top trying to eliminate what he can. But what a back-oh. This is just one of the craziest games I've seen in quite some time. They'll now have a Northwest expansion, Northwest Nexus going down. There's still the opportunity of some Warp Prism harass, but it won't be easy for SaSe.
And it looks like all that SaSe can hope for is that that expansion at the top side doesn't get spotted. He's trying to trick Coca into thinking that it is an elimination race right now. But look at the main for Coca. He has almost nothing. It looks like Coca is just counting on this lasting. And there's the Warp Prism Immortal play. He's going to try to... Oh, a nice little nab there with all of those force fields. Oh, gosh, Marcus. All that stands between SaSe and the end of the game is Coca spotting that top left expansion.
Yeah, and there's a Zergling right in between the army and that expansion right now. All the probes diligently waiting to get back to work. These roaches are eliminating all of the supply here. And to keep in mind, even if he gets us up, the production's still going to take a while. There's some more force fields coming out. Almost lose the sentry right there, sacrificing a few zealots here and there. But there's not really a way for him to replenish his army at this point.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, looking at the unit counting station, 43 roaches are out on the map right now. 43. Coca. Oh, Coca starting to move up to the top left. He smells it, and there it is. He spots it up in the top left. That is the last leg that SaSe has to stand on, and it is being target fired down rapidly. Oh no, SaSe's last hope, this expansion, he needs to keep it alive, and there it falls. If somehow he can manage to take out all these remaining units, this could help him get into a good position, but right now, all the roaches for Coca are about to be surrounded. Can he get them?
Oh, he's trying. Oh, nice force fields there. They're on the retreat. The probes even come over here to try to block it. SaSe does not have a Nexus up right now.
Oh!
There's still no expansion for the Zerg, and all the roaches do fall.
Oh my god, that could be the winning play for SaSe. It's exactly what he needed right now. It looks like Coca has absolutely no resources. In the army tab, we see 68 supply for Coca, 52 for SaSe. And the only thing that it looks like Coca really can choose to do is counterattack. But, I mean, SaSe has how many observers? 2 in the middle of the map right now. He sees where this army is. He needs to carefully reposition. If he has any leg too weak, he will get picked off.
Yeah, and it looked like a quick retreat for Coca there. He splits himself up a little bit, but this observer is going to be a saving grace here. Now, really navigating and making this army do the ring around the rosy. Look at how dispersed and how thin SaSe's army is. The worst thing that he could have happen is to be caught out of position. But right now, is there even the opportunity for the Zerg to make enough money here for an expansion? Yes, there is. And he's trying to spread that creep out so he can get the defense on the bottom. But those roaches are replenished here in the main while the rest of the army. What if Coca just decides to go for a sandwich here? SaSe's got to be careful about how this army could potentially engage his.
SaSe does have enough resources for 2 extra assimilators, so that is really what he's counting on, why those probes are in that force. He's going to try to rearrange his warp prism a little bit. He does manage to pick off the needed spine crawler, but god, that spine crawler placement is so good for SaSe, and there's another nice nab. SaSe continues to just whittle away at this army. What was once 43 roaches is now 28, and suddenly Coca's thinking, well gosh, I can't go for a counterattack to pick off his top right main, because he'll just pick me off.
There's about 500 minerals left inside the main base as well. The bank for Coca currently sitting at 400.
Nidus Worm in the main for SaSe. What a nice play by Coca.
Now, there is the pylon up in the northwest that was never taken down, but of course, everything has been revealed at this point, and so that is something that he could just use that one Zergling to take out, and I feel like Coca just using his army's mobility here. There's a drone. He's going for an expansion.
Both players hiding themselves like crazy. This is a nice play from Coca. He can swing this full army up here and then retreat easily back up into that Nidus Worm, and suddenly SaSe is in a real bind. How does he keep all these buildings alive?
I don't know. I mean, not without just literally sitting there.
I mean, yeah. He will manage to take out the Nidus Worm, but I mean, the play is now clear from Coca. As long as he can just keep Nidus Worming, he'll be in good shape. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, geez, with 6 Immortals out on the field, I mean, Coca suddenly is the one who's going to be trying to hide his expansions.
And here comes the rest of the army now getting outside of their main base, knowing that it is hard to be able to defend from that position. A good surround here would really, really be crucial for Coca. There, a pylon is going out, and keep in mind, he can just keep dropping those Nidus networks.
Oh, SaSe looks like he might run right into these roaches, but oh no, he's going to guide SaSe right to that hidden expansion.
But SaSe making... Oh, he's making a retreat, though. There's another Nidus going up inside the main base, and I'm not sure if it is seen.
Oh my god, look at the expansion at the left. Is SaSe? No, SaSe doesn't see the expansion at the left.
Oh my gosh.
There's the Zerglings now streaming into the position. SaSe sees that there's no natural expansion up. He's starting to lose his main base. This is going to be a dicey situation for Zerg if he doesn't get into a good spot with those force fields.
11 drones right now for the Zerg player as well. Another Nidus. So keep in mind, those Nidus networks are expensive. With 11 drones, he's not necessarily going to be able to replenish. But one thing is for sure, like, I have no idea how this one could play out.
Oh, SaSe didn't see the drone transfer to the expansion. There are 3 Infestors popping out, 28 Roaches. Still on the field, 20 Zerglings, an incredibly intense game. No one has been mining anything for most of this match. We see a single Stalker from SaSe will be isolated down in the south position. There's the Zergling run by. It gets spotted. SaSe splitting up his army.
And that Zergling run by just going to go ahead and get out. Even taking out this one Stalker here is a huge success. Stalker's going to try to save himself, and he does.
Marcus, SaSe spots the expansion in the top left.
Oh.
The Infestor count is quite high for this position in the game. He's going to be having 5 total. Does he have pathogen glands? It looks like no, so there won't quite be enough for fungal growth, but this is suddenly an extremely intense situation. SaSe patrolling his main with a Stalker and probes. He needs to make some sort of decision of how he wants to attack this base, and it looks like the answer is a Warp Prism.
Oh, and the Warp Prism making its way over right now with those 2 Immortals. It's going to mean the whole army's going to have to get out of position. There, a few of the Zerglings are picked off inside the middle of the base, and here the Warp Prism is moving over. There are a few Roaches coming down here. They're going immediately after the drones, and he'll need to pick up right there, and he does. Does he take out some additional drones? It looks like his opponent now with 12, and he's going to get a couple more.
He does manage to pick off a couple more drones, but there are the Infestors, and they're walking up.
No!
And oh no! He manages to get him. Can he unload? Can he unload up onto the low ground? It looks like the answer is he gets them down. Can he pick off any of the Infestors? He does get one, but now everything for SaSe is going to come down to this one battle.
Oh my gosh, he does have some good force fields here, but does he have enough? There, he throws out his 2 premature force fields. A fungal is going to be incredibly devastating here, and look at how patient Coca is being, waiting for those force fields to turn off, looking for that perfect chain of fungals that will end this game. But there it is!
And that's the fungal that could end the game. Tons of infested Terrans being thrown down. The Immortals doing ridiculous amounts of damage. SaSe, who's been managing the game so well. GG! What a match! Oh, SaSe.